Gary here from Giantville. I could have swore that would have been enough. Gary here from Pathways Homestead, and I'm fixing to cook. That might scare some people, but I am gonna cook a dish that Cindy and I really like. We've been out working. She's been out working in the garden. I've been cutting timber for a neighbor, and then I've been hauling some feed, and so we need something that's pretty filling but doesn't take a long time to cook. And so I'm going to make a dish in my cast iron skillet that we call Calico Potatoes. Somebody gave us some pretty nice sweet potatoes. I've got them here in my hand. And then I've got a couple of red potatoes out of our garden. They'd gotten a little sun on them, so I've peeled them to get the green off of them. Got a couple of red potatoes. I've already got cut up here a yellow onion out of our garden. And I've got a couple of carrots out of our garden too. And I'm going to use those to make this dish. I'm going to make Calico potatoes. So we're going to get started on that here in just a minute. One of the things you need to do first is I prefer to peel my sweet potatoes to do this. A lot of times the Irish potatoes, the regular potatoes, I won't peel. I'll clean them, but these I did. But I'm peeling these potatoes, these sweet potatoes, for this dish. I'm just peeling them into the floor, letting the peels pile up on the floor. The maids will pick them up, clean it up later. Not really. I've got a 5-gallon bucket underneath me, catching all these peels. And the pigs will eat it, or the chickens will eat it. So I'll get these potatoes peeled, and then I'll cut them all up. I've got some leftover ham from the other night, chopped up. I've got some garlic and some carrots, sweet potatoes, yellow onion, and some red potatoes. I've got all that cut up, and now we're going to get the skillet heating. I've got a cast iron skillet, and I'm going to put it on a pretty low heat. And then we need to put a little oil in our skillet. When you cook starchy things like potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots, you need some oil. They'll soak up quite a bit of oil, and they'll stick to the pan if there's not some oil in the pan, even a good seasoned cast iron. So what I'm using is our home canned lard. That's what I'm using for oil. It's been sitting on the back of the stove while Cindy was canning, so it's pretty liquid right now. But I'm going to put a little bit in there, enough to cover the bottom really thin. Then I'm going to start putting our potatoes in. Since the ham is cooked already, we cooked some ham steaks the other night and ate them. That's the leftover. Since the ham's cooked already, I'm gonna wait till the potatoes have started cooking a little bit before I add it to the pot. Oops. Maids will get that one, as in me. I don't know if you can see that, but that's our potatoes in there cooking, and carrots and onions and garlic. We'll let them cook. When you cook potatoes, when you fry potatoes, if you like them cooked crisp and starting browned pretty good, you cook them with an open skillet. I like mine cooked soft, and they don't have to be browned real hard. I just like them cooked soft. And so then I cover the skillet after they've cooked for a little while. Then I cover the skillet. That allows the steam to cook in there, and it cooks my potato through without having to be hot enough to start browning the bottoms of the potatoes. So that's a tip you might want to know for when you cook potatoes, that you're going to be cooking mostly the edges, and the bottom is where most of your heat's going to be if you leave it open, which some people like their potatoes that way. I know my wife, when she cooks her fried potatoes, she likes them crisp pretty good, browned pretty good. I like to get mine done through first, so I cover mine at a certain point here, and I'll show you how that works. Alright, so we've got our potatoes cooking. They've cooked to the point that they've started to change colors. They're not getting brown, they're starting to get clearer. That means they're starting to get cooked through. And so now I'm going to put the ham in, and then I'm going to put my lid on. And I've been stirring this some while it's cooking, just to kind of get the stuff on top stirred down to the bottom some too. Then I'm going to put a little salt and pepper on it. I've got a lid off of one of our graniteware pots that fits just right on my cast iron skillet. So I put that on it, and I'm going to let it cook a little longer. Okay, these have been cooking for a while now, and they are, even the bigger chunks of the carrot and the sweet potato, which take longer to cook than the regular potato, they are soft enough that when I push them with my turner, that they mash. So that means they're cooked all the way through. Now I'm going to leave them with the lid off and let them cook for just a few minutes longer to kind of crisp the bottom, because I know that my bride likes that part. Alright, I've got some up on my plate. It's really good and done. I don't know if you can see all that different color. That's kind of why we call it calico potatoes. There's orange carrots and the light orange sweet potato and the white carrot and the yellow onion. I mean the white potato and the yellow onion and that nice red ham. And that's calico potatoes, and it's one of my favorite things to eat anymore. So we're fixing to enjoy. Y'all have a good day, and I hope you know that you are loved by God, and I hope your day is blessed.